Welcome back to Against the Cage. Scott Fontana here once again with the UFC's number one ranked lightweight, Arman Tsarukyan. All right, so Arman, right now, my understanding is you're back in Thailand training, but you were in Las Vegas, of course, on Saturday night for UFC 317, the lightweight championship fight. Before we get into all the ways that you factor into the lightweight title picture, I wanted to know, your thoughts on how that fight went, maybe from more of like a technical perspective, because you've got some insights here. What went right for Ilia and what went wrong for Charles Oliveira?
I mean, I knew that Ilia is gonna win because he stylistically he's a bad matchup for the Oliveira because Oliveira has no wrestling, but he has good jiu-jitsu. So to take that down, Ilia is so hard. You gotta know like freestyle wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling to take him down, and so that's why I thought that fight is not gonna be on the ground, or or Charles could do like a do fake that he got hurt. He can like pull the guard and like try to do like some triangles or like sweeps, but Topuria he didn't go down, and he stayed on the feet, and he knew he could knock him out.
Well, he was down there for a
So
little bit, right, Armin? There was a little bit of a ground engagement. I think there was some curiosity about how that went. I mean, were you surprised that he did anything down there at all? It wasn't for very long, mind you, but
I was surprised how he couldn't finish the leg locks because he got very very good his leg, and I thought maybe he can like uh, take his back from the leg lock. He can go to change his position and get his back, or to be on the top. But Ela did got good job, and he escaped, and he just uh, he just knew like he's better on the feet, why he should go down. So and Oliveira tried to take him down, but like he just I don't know. He did this the second time same mistakes with Islam. He take his body lock and like pulled on trying to take him down, but couldn't, and he dropped on his back. The same with Oliver, with Tapuria.
sure, sure. Now, of course, you were the backup fighter for this one. You hit the mark, 155 pounds even on Friday. You weren't needed, but I'm curious, how long after weighing in did you have to, keep yourself sharp just in case, something went wrong with either Ilia Topuria or Oliveira?
I mean, my manager told me to be ready, like even when you go to the arena. So when you're going to watch fight, just in case, take your mouthpiece because you never know. Maybe something happened and you just jump in the fight. And I took my mouthpiece just in case, and I was ready to fight, and I had a 6 7 weeks camp, and I cut my weight, so I was ready physically, mentally, and but it couldn't happen, and I hope it happens soon.
Sure, sure. And obviously, this backup opportunity came about. Was this something that the UFC came to you about, or did you volunteer for this?
No, I told them I can be back up, just in case, because sometimes Oliveira has a difficult weight cut. He's just surviving during the weight cut, and maybe he couldn't make the weight, and I can jump in. So because uh, I have no problem with weight cut, and but Dana White's still saying like it was the issue with my weight cut. I don't know. So I have no issue with my weight cut, and I make my weight always, and it's not a problem. So I can make my weight every 2 months. So if even like if they call me and say in the end of July you wanna fight, a good fight, I'll take it. If it's like title fight or BMF or something.
Yeah, you were talking about UFC 318 maybe doing the same thing, being a backup fighter in just a couple weeks, in the event that Dustin Poirier or Max Holloway can't make it. Are you concerned at all about even just a couple weeks later doing it again?
No, if someone get hurt and they call me and I'm gonna make the weight, but just to be a backup for the BMF, no, no way. For just cut my weight and like it's a bad idea, cut every 2 3 weeks, So, but if someone pull out and someone get hurt, I'll jump in for sure. Straight
Okay,
from Thailand
okay.
to Vegas.
Gotcha. So it's you wouldn't be the backup fighter for that, but if they needed a guy and you had maybe a
Yeah,
couple days to just get in town, you would take the fight. Got it.
yeah. I need at least like 10 days, at least ten
Sure.
days because I gotta uh, like I got a little bit train, before the fight.
Yeah. How much do you walk around at typically between fights?
I mean, when I'm in my shape, I'll walk around the 182,
Okay.
181.
All right, all right. So obviously there's still a descent that you would have to take, and that's where those 10 days come in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for 10 days, I can cut 25 pounds.
Now, and going back to obviously you've maintained all along that it was the back injury, not a weight cut issue that, forced you out of that fight in January against Islam Makhachev. What exactly was the back injury, if you can say? And how is your back now?
But why nobody like try to take the interview from the doctor and ask what happened with Arman? So I had a problem with my sciatic nerve, and I hurt my back, and Uh, so my back is stuck because of sciatic nerve. So and when I started cut my weight, my lower back was weak, and it happened, because I had a long training camp. I was super light, lighter than usually. So, but because I had a title fight. I've been training for the title fight so long, and how can I just miss the weight and like train 6 months for that fight? It's you gotta be stupid to miss your weight, and I wanted to make the weight and to fight more than everybody. Even I was calling out 6 years for that fight, and like just turn it off for the one day. Just weight cut issue. I would kill myself, but make the weight.
How hard was it for you to was that decision you made, or did your management or your people around you make that decision for you to pull out of that fight?
Yeah, my brother made that decision.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
because
how is your back now?
very good. So even when I cut my weight last weekend, so no problems, was good. So happy and that my back is healthy and can't wait to fight. Because it was a long time when I fought last time.
Now, what are you looking to accomplish by being the backup fighter? Is it just that potential quick opportunity to get a championship fight in case something bad happens? Or are you, as someone asked Dana White about this at the press conference the other day, are you looking to get back in maybe their good graces or Dana White's good graces or some way?
No, no, no. I just knew like Topuria is fighting with Ilia for the title fight, and I said if something happened, make me back up, and I'll jump in, and I'm gonna be ready for that day. And then they said okay because you never know, and it's good opportunity for me, to be in the shape, and they told me yes, if you want, you can be a backup. So it's good for me, and you never know. Like I said, you can go to train, turn your knee, and you're done. It's a contact sport.
Course, of course. Now, Dana White again, he has been pretty clear about the situation. He's not been thrilled with the way things went, and you obviously weren't thrilled with the way things went for your own purposes as well. Um, what do you need to do to convince Dana White and the UFC, who called this kind of a step in the right direction, you being able to make weight as the backup fighter? What do you need to do to convince them, hey, got to give me that title shot?
I have no idea. They should tell me what I should do to get that fight.
Okay.
But
Is that, yeah, I was gonna say, is there anything that your management has been able to learn from that, or that you've been able to speak with anybody in person for?
no, no, I'm just waiting what they're gonna say. I'm fighting for the title, or they have some different plans for me. So we'll see. I'm down for everything, but I know I deserve more than everybody to fight for the title, and I'm here, and it wasn't uh, issue with my weight cut, and the doctors was there, the two doctors, and they could see like on my back, and I couldn't do exercises, I couldn't do bike, so it was hurting so much, and I don't know what they explained to Dana, but like they still keep saying that I have a problem with the weight cut. But Hunter was there, and he knows like that I pulled out with the big reason, you know.
Of course, of course. Have you been offered any fights since January?
Yeah, I've been offered the Gaethje for the
Mhm.
10 days. I said yes, but I needed a catch weight because it was 9 days or something. I was 185, and I said like it was 9 days. Yeah, I know it's a risk, but I'll take it. But I need a 165, you know, because it's impossible. Like from 186, 185 to cut for 9 days. And I asked my nutritionist and UFC nutritionist, and he said, "No, yeah, you're not gonna able to make 155." But I said yes, and then and then the backup fight.
And when would that have been? That fight would have been in when?
Which fight?
If you had fought against Justin Gaethje, what month would that have been?
No, it's supposed to be like in March when
Okay.
Dustin Gabriel fought with Fiziev. They
Yes,
called
yes.
me
Just making
first.
sure.
I said yes, but yeah, I needed like a little bit more time, and from just my weight issue, you know. But
Sure,
still, I
sure.
said yes, and I was ready.
Yeah, and obviously that was a fight that was going to be with Dan Hooker against Justin Gaethje. You just a couple hours ago had some new words for Dan Hooker. You guys have had some back and forth this year relating to both of you being forced out of fights by injuries. Is that a fight that interests you? If you can't get a championship fight against Ilia Topuria, would it be maybe next best thing sort of to go against Dan Hooker?
I mean, my goal is fight for the title. So if they're not gonna give me title fight, what I can do? I just gotta keep winning, and then they call me one day.
So it's not necessarily like, oh, I would, I'm okay with taking Dan Hooker instead. It's just you would take something
No,
if it
it's
was offered
right
potentially.
now. It's necessary to fight for the title. Well, I'm
Hmm.
like contender number one, and I beat everybody in my division, and I just pulled out. I just got hurt, and like I was a backup, made the way to show like I'm ready. If something happened, I'm jump in, and how can I prove more than that? So, and everybody, if you ask like 10 people who is deserve more fight for the title, and everybody gonna say my name.
Sure, sure, and of course you posted about that not long
I mean,
after support.
it's it's not WWE. It's a sport. It's UFC. It's professional. How like you can bring like everybody to fight for the title, and like who even like lose 2 fights ago, or like who is just beat on ranking guys, you know.
Right.
It's a real sport, and there is a real contender, there is a real champion. So and the new champion is looking for easy money fights,
Right. You Yes,
which
he's
which
been
I
talking about that.
understand, which
Hmm.
I understand, like his position, just make easy money. But there is a guy who is been waiting a long time to be a champion, especially in his own division.
I mean, you kind of already spoken about this, but how does it make you feel just being that number one ranked lightweight and still being skipped over for these opportunities, which you've maintained and is very clear that you had a victory over Oliveira and would have been the guy who was number one anyway. How does that make you feel just kind of dealing with this? Frustrated
No,
or
no, no. I knew that. and I understand that why he's fighting for the title Oliveira, because like obviously I got injured and I missed my fight, my chance. But if they're not gonna give me the right now title fight, and then like the my mood is not gonna be good too.
Of course,
I
of
mean,
course.
if
Now,
they're gonna give Paddy or Gaethje fight, they're not. They don't deserve fight for the title.
yeah, obviously, Paddy Pimblett, you were called out by Topuria in the cage afterward, and he made a dig at you. He made a dig at Paddy Pimblett immediately after. Paddy goes into the cage and confronts him. What was going through your mind when you kind of saw that moment play out?
I said that's a bullshit. WWE. What's that called? WWE. The one the fake fights. Yeah,
WWE, yeah, pro wrestling, yeah.
yeah. It looks like a WWE.
And so you don't like that, obviously. That's not the way you'd rather see it play out, right?
I mean, how you can bring like a guy who just beat Michael Chandler, who he just beat from ranks Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler has like 10 losses in UFC and one win, something like that.
Right, right. And obviously,
At least
you
you
have
gotta beat. You gotta at least you gotta beat someone like Dariush or even Oliveira, yeah, or someone like who has like Poirier or Gaethje. If they gonna fight and Paddy gonna win, Paddy gonna beat the Gaethje, yeah, he's
now let's
gonna
say
deserve the title fight.
let's say they call you up and they're like, Armin, you're next for the title. We've got you in there to go against Ilia Topuria. Do you have a preference of when you would fight the rest of the year, or will be ready basically anytime they need you to do it?
Anytime, just title fight. Anytime. It's in October, September, November, December, next beginning of the next year. But I would like to fight in Abu Dhabi, October 25. It's a beautiful place, uh, and a lot of Georgian and Armenian, Russian people can come and watch, and they can enjoy that fight because crowd in Abu Dhabi is going to be crazy because we live so close to. I mean, Abu Dhabi is close to Georgia and Armenia and Russia, so it's easy to
Sure,
get
sure.
there.
A lot, and you both would presumably have a lot of fans in that area. Now, I had spoken with Topuria ahead of this last fight, and you actually reacted to a clip of it where he said that you'd have no chance against him. If you had been able to step in for Oliveira, you said you're the worst possible matchup for him, and you said that you can finish him. Simple as that. I'm curious. Tell us more about how you see a matchup with Topuria playing out.
I'm just take him down and hold him and just maul him and I just finish him on the ground and he's not gonna able to escape from me.
The wrestling and the takedowns are the key then.
Yeah, and my kicks, my wrestling, my ground and pound, and my strengths. Boxing, he's good on one thing on the boxing, but me, wrestling, kicks, ground and pound, and like a control time.
So the more well-rounded fighter you believe is
I mean,
yourself.
4 versus 1, who's gonna
Hmm.
win? I mean,
Sure, sure.
if you're not gonna stay on the his boxing distance, how he's gonna beat you? I don't know.
And you've only fought once in the last 18 months. You were used to seeing you in there 2 to 3 times a year, most of your UFC career. Do you miss getting in there? The fact that you haven't been able to get in there and get in action as much over these last, year plus.
Of course, I've been training so hard. I've been waiting so long for my title fight, and when that happened, uh, it it gave me more experience, and I now I changed my training. I changed my trainings. I started like doing some right things, never overtrained. If I feel like 50, 60% this day, I'm not gonna push myself. But before I was just going and killing myself, and no matter how I feel in the morning. I'm tired or not. I just was pushing, but now I understand. I'm like the I'm a like just gotta take care of myself. I'm not young. Like I'm not 20 years old anymore.
You're only 28. You're still one of the youngest lightweights up
Yeah,
there.
but like
You and
when
Ilia
you're
are the same
18,
age.
19, yeah, when you're 18, 19, 20, you can push yourself on the crazy limits. So
And that's obviously a key lesson it sounds like you've learned. But I'm curious too. Obviously, the fact that this year didn't go, the way that you've envisioned, right? You envisioned you'd be winning the title in January and going forward from there. The question I have for you though is this: what other lessons maybe do you take away from kind of a tougher first 6 months of the year?
um yeah, the one thing they can never overtrain, and second, uh let me think. Uh like leave situation so easy, never like take so serious this life, and like when you when you want something so hard and you couldn't do that, you like think so much why it didn't happen, this that you were working hard, why that shit happened with me. But I turned my mind and so just chill, and now whatever happened, I'll be more stronger, and nobody can break my brain. But if I decided like if I wake up one day and I feel not happy with fighting and everything, I'm just done. But like I wake up so happy every day, and it's my favorite job. I'm so thankful to the God that He gives me opportunity travel around the world, meet a lot of people, fight. So it's just a dream. Sometimes I think I am living in a dream life, and I have like everything in my life, and just I need a title, and I know like I'm gonna get the title sooner. It just takes time, but like I'm gonna get it.